Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is the real Kale back with some Mortal Kombat 1 information, or I should say predictions. Yes, so last video I did a video talking about my wish list for MK11, specifically talking about gameplay aspects and content within the game. Today, we're going to do a very fun video. And I'm just getting this out the way because we already know a little bit of the roster, and before the leaks start happening and before they start confirming more characters, I just wanted to get this video out so I can cross-reference it in the future, in the coming weeks, coming months. So here we go. My predicted MK1 roster. This is going to be predictions based off of popularity, based off of possibly like gameplay features, like, you know, gameplay variety. I'm gonna try and get characters that play sort of different, will be very customizable. I'm gonna select characters based on their appearances in previous games and maybe story intricacies. But though the criteria here, I'm gonna go as followed. I have a little bit of criteria to put together this predicted roster. Since this Mortal Kombat game has been in development for a very long time, this is the longest development cycle in any Mortal Kombat game, I predict we're going to have a very large roster out the gate. I'm predicting, so MK11 had 25 out the gate, Injustice 2 had 28. Because this game added extra 2 years of development onto it, I think we're going to have 36. I'm going with 36 limit for this roster. We're going to have over 30 on top of the DLC. So by the end of this game's lifespan, if we get 2 combat packs, we could have around 50 characters total in this game. There's going to be a lot. We're not doing any cameo characters. I'm only focusing on characters that we are going to have the ability to play as in this game. I'm not going to complicate it with that stuff, honestly. I mean, we don't really know how that stuff is going to work. We know it's, other than the fact that it's going to be completely separate from the characters that you get to play as. Other than that, the last criteria I am going to have, I think we are going to have some brand new characters that we've never seen before. So X had a lot. We had characters like Cassie, characters like Ferritor, Kotal Khan, Jackie, all those brand new characters. I think we had like about 6 or 8 of them, brand new, never seen before. And MK11 had 3. So because this roster is going to be a little bit bigger, I'm upping that brand new character slot to 4 new characters. So I'm just going to put 4 question marks on the screen right now. 4 characters that we can't predict because we've never seen them before at all. I think this is because this is a franchise reboot in a way, I think it's pretty clever if they want to flex their creativity and come up with some new stuff, come up with some new fan favorites, and keep, you know, new players engaged and old players engaged. They should come up with things that we've never seen before, and I highly encourage them to do that. So because we're going with 36 and 4 of them will be brand new, today we are selecting 32 characters that we know from Mortal Kombat. So let's begin, let's start, and we're gonna kick it off with this video. Basically, the characters that we already know are gonna be in the game, and I consider these first 6 characters to be the pillars of Mortal Kombat. Every MK game should have them, and they are Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Raiden, Kitana, Mileena. I think going forward, every Mortal Kombat game should have these 6 at bare minimum. These are the 6 pillars of Mortal Kombat. These are the most famous Mortal Kombat characters. They all need to be in the game, and they already been basically confirmed from the reveal trailer and news. And on top of that, the other characters that we know that are confirmed for this game are Johnny, Shang Tsung, and Kung Lao. Those characters are confirmed, playable for MK1 already. I definitely would have put these characters in no matter what. They just make sense. This is basically the Mortal Kombat 2 roster. Classic characters. Everybody loves them. They're going to be here for us. Putting any one of these as DLC is a bit weird. I know they did it with Melina. You know that didn't turn out too well for them, but hey, don't put it past NRS to put somebody's favorite character as DLC. Anyways, y'all, let's move on. So next, I'm betting that the classic male ninjas will be in this game. And that means Smoke, Reptile, Rain, Noob Saibot, and Ermac are making it into this game. Now, I do think any one of these characters are, they can take them out and put them as DLC and they would sell. They definitely would. We all thought Smoke, Reptile, and Ermac were going to be DLC if they did a Combat Pack 3 for MK11, and I think people would have loved that. Rain was DLC twice. I really think if they don't put him in base roster in this game, he's not coming at all, guys. I don't see him putting him as DLC. So I think they might as well put this man base roster. Let him be base roster for once. Please let Rain be there. So Rain definitely. Smoke, I think right now he probably is the most requested character. He's my favorite ninja. I would love Smoke. I think Smoke is almost a lock. I feel like he's so heavily requested right now. As people loved him in X, Cyber Smoke. He was everywhere. Everybody loved that character. MK9, he was very popular as well. A lot of people just missed him from 11. A lot of people did. Same thing with Reptile. Base roster of 9 and X. A lot of people missed him in 11. People wanted him for Combat Pack 3 or even Combat Pack 2. I think, looking back at it, I think people would have probably taken Reptile over Rain for Combat Pack 2. And same thing with Ermac. These are all characters that we all want, no matter what. I don't see them skipping out on Noob Saibot either. Noob Saibot was so requested for 11. People were upset that he was not in X, not even as DLC. I don't think they're making him. Maybe they'll make him DLC, but I think he makes it in this game one some way, shape, or form. But base roster is safe. Bet. I think that was the big critique with MK11. Just no classic ninjas. They only had Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Noob Saibot base roster for the classic male ninjas, and a lot of people did not like that about MK11's roster. So I think they're gonna rectify that with this one. With it being a reboot, they can easily put those characters back in, no matter what. And so let's follow that up with the classic female ninjas. We already mentioned Kitana and Melina. The next classic female ninjas are Scarlet, Jade, and Tanya. So Tanya, I think it was pretty heavily requested after Combat Pack 2. I think a lot of people kind of missed her. She has a pretty strong fan base. It's still, like, I would say like a cult fan base, not too big, but definitely not small, and they're very vocal. I think she has a pretty cool moveset that they could play around with. She uses cool weapons. They could make her design very interesting. And Scarlet and Jade were just so popular in 11 that I just don't see them missing out on this game at all. And if they don't make it into this game, I can almost guarantee at least one of them will be DLC. A lot of people played Jade in 11. She was very popular online, even when during the beta. I remember Jade was not in X. A lot of people hated that Kitana basically had Jade's staff in X. Scarlet was very popular too from 9 and 11. Despite, I think a lot of people said her playstyle was boring, but I don't think the vast majority felt that way because a lot of people played with her. And they could do some really interesting stuff with Scarlet. She's a great aesthetically pleasing Mortal Kombat character with her blood powers. They can do a lot of cool stuff with her gameplay as well. So far we're off to a really good start. I think this game is really going to appease the vast majority of Mortal Kombat fans. So now we're getting into, this is like the largest sector of my prediction list. So we got Sonya, Jax, Nightwolf, Cabal, Sindel, Sector, Cyrax, Fujin, Goro, and Kenshi. So basically boxing this together as the classic fan favorite characters. So let's begin breaking this down. Sonya, Jax, Nightwolf, Cabal. Sonya, classic Mortal Kombat character. I honestly can't see a Mortal Kombat game without her. Same thing with Jax as well. Very popular character. Big on representation too in 2023. You know, Black Power out here. Gotta have Jax in there. Nightwolf was, missed X completely. Base roster in 9. 11 deals as DLC. 11, he was fairly popular. A lot of people played as him. He was one of my favorite characters to play in that game. I do think Nightwolf makes it in base roster. And here's the kicker with this. Nightwolf is probably going to be gender swapped in this game. I think that would be very cool. They teased it at the end of I think his story, his arcade ladder in MK11. I wouldn't be surprised if Nightwolf is actually gender swapped, considering this is a whole new timeline that's being created. And I'm all for that. That is very, very cool to me, that Nightwolf is just a mantle. And I think they can make that. That's just very different. That's very unique. That's very exciting. Cabal, like I said, missed X, very popular in 11. One of the strongest characters in that game. He's just overall a very popular Mortal Kombat character. Kind of controversial. I think they could just do a lot with his gameplay, his design for the next game with the reboot. If he doesn't make it in base roster, he's probably going to be DLC at some point in the game's lifespan. And Sindel, DLC in the last game, missed X completely, although being an NPC, just like Nightwolf, I believe. Base roster in 9. I think Sindel is very popular enough. I would like to see that, what she brings to the story, considering with Kitana Melina in. Melina seems to be the empress of the underworld in this game. So that's really cool. I'm very interested to see how that might play out. And Sector Cyrax, I think these are basically a given. Base roster 9. DLC and X. Completely missed 11. A lot of people were not happy about that. And I think just like Smoke or Ermac or Reptile, they are like one of the most requested characters in this game. A lot of people wanted them to just be like Combat Pack 2 or 3 in 11. I think they definitely make base roster easily. They can have crazy gameplay too. A lot of different skins, a lot of different appearances. They'll be very customizable. I do think their default look will be their human version though. I don't think their default look is going to be their cybernetic version. I think because this game is a reboot and it basically takes place before the very first Mortal Kombat, I think their default skins are going to be them in human form, which would be very, very cool to see. I do think their cybernetic forms will be in the game at some point. Maybe not, maybe as a skin. Maybe they'll add it later, but I definitely see them being in this game in one way, shape, or another. Fujin, a character that just doesn't get enough love, but was very popular in 11, in both story and in both just playability. One of the strongest characters in 11. His last MK appearance was Armageddon before 11. So he's not a heavily featured character, and I think they did a great job. They put a lot of effort into him with 11 with the Aftermath campaign. I kind of feel like it would be weird if they just left him on the table. I don't see him being DLC again, so if he does not make base roster of MK1, he's just not coming back at all. And people really wanted him for MKX as well. So I think he's going to make it, y'all. So Fujin fans rejoice. I think he's going to be base roster. And now the last two. Goro and Kenshi. Goro is dead in the previous timeline. He is literally a decaying corpse on his own stage in Goro's lair. He was a very fun character at MKX. He was the pre-order bonus like how Shao Kahn was. And basically just, yeah, he skipped 11 completely. I don't remember if he was in, I cannot remember. I'm not sure if he was in 9 or not. I think Shiva took his spot. But I think Goro, Big Daddy Goro is coming back. I think he's definitely coming back. One of the OG monster characters in Mortal Kombat. think it's very important to have him in there. His game, he's one of the few big body characters that I've mentioned so far, so I think he fits that spot as well. And I'm curious about his design. And he's a classic character, both new and old fans that don't even play a lot of Mortal Kombat would easily recognize, and they can do some really cool stuff with him. And Kenshi. So I had a hard time picking him for this game, but Kenshi is very popular. He's very popular. I would say he's the best 3D era character, and out of that era of Mortal Kombat, he is definitely the best one. Has the best design, has the best backstory, has the best abilities. He made it into MK9 as DLC. Base roster X completely missed 11. I think some people definitely do miss him, but they could do some interesting stuff with him being base MK1. I think he will be very, very well welcomed as a base MK1 character. So those are the fan favorites, y'all. It's a large set. We're up to 27. 27. So that means we only could pick 5 more characters for the game, and in addition to the 4 new characters. So had a tough time picking this. So I'm going back with the new age era of fan favorites. That is Geras, Aaron Black, Kotal Khan, Takeda, and Kung Jin. This was very difficult for me to choose because I really do think the Kombat kids will have some sort of presence in this game, but I don't know how, because they're supposed to be offspring of some existing characters, right? So, and if this game is going way, way back, and the characters that we know that are in this game are going to be very young, like we already see that Scorpion and Sub-Zero look extremely young in this game. Technically, characters like Takeda, Kung Jin, Cassie, and Jackie are just not going to be in this game if we're just basing it off of that. But then again, it's a whole new timeline. Literally anyone could be in this game, which is why putting together this roster is so much fun, but it's also very difficult. But Geras, I think, is returning for sure. Out of every new MK11 character, which means Geras, Collector, and what's the other character's name? Cetrion. Out of all those characters, Geras is the most popular. He has the best design, and they actually kind of designed him lore-wise for him to return randomly in Mortal Kombat games, because he can't really die. Anytime he dies, he comes back a bit stronger. So very excited to see him in the next game. He's also kind of fits like a big body character vibe. I think they kind of want to establish him as one of the newer Mortal Kombat characters. So keep that momentum with him forward, I think they should definitely bring him back into this game. Aaron is just too cool. Aaron is so popular. Out of all the new age Mortal Kombat characters, he probably is the most popular, and for rightfully so. A character doesn't need to have a really cool place in the story or like a really cool dialogue to be very popular. The character just needs to be cool and have a fun moveset, and Aaron represents that very well. He can easily be in this game's story because I believe he's hundreds of years old, so he probably existed when it was bounty hunting across, Earthrealm and the Outworld for ages, like even way back. So they can easily weave him into the story. However, if they're putting him into this game, I would like to see him have more of a prominent role into the campaign. Kotal Khan, basically for the same reason, he's super popular. He'll fit the big body character mold. So with interesting, cool gameplay, very popular in X, very popular in 11. I totally see him coming back. Lots of cosplays for this character too. They definitely did a great job with Kotal Khan and his design. I think a lot of people really like this character, and I think for the same reason like Aaron, he's probably like centuries of years old. It might not be the exact same Kotal Khan that we know, but it will be like a Aztec Khan in the MK1 for sure. And now Takeda and Kung Jin, I think Takeda is one of the most requested characters from that era of Mortal Kombat, from one of the new age characters. If he doesn't make it into this game, whether it's base roster or DLC, I find that very, very strange. He's such a popular character. People were clamoring for him in 11, and I really wanted him to be base roster in 11. And if they had a Combat Pack 3, he was like my number one choice for the game. So they need to put my man back into the game for sure. Kung Jin, I think he was very popular at X. Like, people played as him because he was like really strong and good, but I'm not sure if he was resonated that well with a lot of audiences based on his character. But basically, no Cassie and Jackie. I don't think Jackie's coming back, yo. I don't think she had enough of a story prominence for her to come back into the game for story purposes. In addition to that, I think she left a lot of like a big sour taste in the community's mouth with how strong she was in 11. So I don't think she's coming back. I would be a-okay if she comes back, y'all. She was one of the characters I played. She was a lot of fun. But I think the guys are gonna. I think the combat kids, the guy combat kids, are gonna take some shine. I don't see how Cassie exists if Johnny is super young and Sonya is super young. I don't see how Cassie exists in this game, it was very hard for me to put this together because I felt like she was super popular too. To tell you the truth, if I had it my way, I would put all 4 of them back in the game. I really did enjoy them, especially Takeda, but I don't think all of them are going to be in this game, but I do think at least one of them will be featured in this game. And that's it. That's the roster, y'all. That's my predicted roster. So, let's recap. We got 36. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Raiden, Kitana, Mileena, Johnny Cage, Shang Tsung, Kung Lao, Smoke, Reptile, Rain, Noob Saibot, Ermac, Jade, Scarlet, Tanya, Sonya, Jax, Nightwolf, Cabal, Sindel, Sector, Cyrax, Fujin, Goro, Kenshi, Garrus, Aaron Black, Kodokan, Takeda, Kung Jin. And then 4 brand new characters. I think this is a fire roster. I don't know. I think this is alright. I think this definitely will please a lot of people. If this ends up being true, I am a god. I am the clairvoyant. I am a primordial being. I am an elder god. I don't think this is going to be the true roster, guys. I think this is going to be so different when the game comes out. But I do think a lot of the characters I selected will end up on this game in some way, shape, or form. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your predicted roster. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. What characters do you want to see? What characters do you think you want to see? There's a bit of a difference between that. Who you think is going to be in the game is different from who you want, because there's some characters here that I would have loved to see in the game, but I don't think they're coming back. Like Frost, for example. Frost had a very bad reception from 11. A lot of people didn't like her, and a lot of people did not play her. So I think she's gone from the game. I don't even think she's coming back as DLC. Devora, I think people like the idea of Devora, but people were not happy with what she did with Scorpion in the last game, and they weren't happy with what happened to Mileena, and that's basically why she was not base roster and the first combat pack of MK11. So I don't think she's coming back. Maybe not for the first, maybe not as base roster, maybe not even the first DLC pack, maybe DLC 2. Honestly, Devora could skip a whole game because her gameplay also sucked in 11. And I think I got the right fan favorites in this game that people really want to see. But all in all, y'all, don't send anybody death threats when the roster gets revealed, because the roster is not gonna satisfy everybody. And if your main does not make it into the game, let's think with an open mind. It's now time to try a new character for the first time. My mains didn't make it into 11. In X, I played Smoke, I played Takeda, and I played Ermac. They were not in 11, so I played Johnny and Jackie at launch, and I was very happy with those characters. So, I think next video I'm gonna do predicted DLC wish list. DLC wish list, not prediction. DLC wish list. That's what I'm gonna do next. So let me know what you guys think about my MK12 roster prediction. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And stay real, y'all. Have a good day. Peace.